In this video, I'm going to teach you the double half snatch step by step. It is a powerful exercise, it is advanced, and it takes some time to master. But before we get started, I have a gift for you. 30 days filled with kettlebell workouts for free. Check the first link in the description. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe hier. The double half snatch is a beast and can give you a lot of bang for your buck. Important note, the normal snatch or the full snatch is this type of variation where we bring the kettlebell overhead and then immediately drop it back down and back up. This is probably the snatch that you are most familiar with. Now with the half snatch variation, we do the same thing, bringing the kettlebell overhead. But then from this position, I don't immediately drop the bell down into the backswing, but I drop the bell down into the rack position. With double kettlebells, we want to ensure a higher level of safety, and that's the reason why we choose the half snatch variation. Now let me demonstrate the double half snatch first. Watch. Let's go through the progression one-on-one. Step 1 is learning the hinge. Put a stick behind your back, connect it with your hips, your back, and your head. Now sit back, push those hips back, your upper body leans forward, your spine stays straight, and I'm unlocking the knees. I imagine as I'm sitting back and I want to touch anything that's behind me with my hips or with my glutes. That's what I'm imagining. Now I'll come back up. Do this again. The hinge is such a fundamental exercise that you need to learn it and memorize it until you're blue in the face, because you need it in so many exercises when you are picking up a kettlebell. Progression number 2, the single hand swing. A good start is half of the exercise. I stand shoulder width apart. The kettlebell is a little bit in front of me. I hinge. I grab the kettlebell with my fingers in the bottom part of the handle. Now I pull my arm between my legs, make contact with my body, and then I hip thrust the bell up. When the bell is up, gravity does its thing, the bell drops. I'll wait for my arm to reconnect with my body, and then I start again. You want to depend upon the strongest muscles that you have, which are located in your hip area. Your arms are loose, and as the kettlebell is on top and you stand fully in that locked out position, you let gravity do its thing and catch the kettlebell with your hip. Now that we have mastered the swing, we have to master the clean, because the clean is nothing less than an advanced progression of the swing, and the snatch is nothing less than an advanced progression of the clean. In order for you to better understand the clean, we dissect this exercise into a couple of phases. Backswing, hip extension, acceleration pull, hand insertion, rack position. Initiate the drop, turning my palm towards me, letting the kettlebell fly, backswing, and we start again. Watch. An important concept that we have explained on this channel a couple of times is so-called hand insertion, where I want to understand how to switch from a finger grip into a so-called hook grip. If I understand this position, I have to be aware of the fact that as I drop the kettlebell back into the backswing, the same happens in reverse. Now that we have mastered the clean, we move up to the half snatch. And we deconstruct the exercise in a similar fashion in order for us to better understand it. Backswing, hip extension, acceleration pull, hand insertion, top fixation, drop to the rack, drop into the backswing, turning the palm towards me, reverse hand insertion, backswing. Watch. Now master all 3 exercises with both of your hands respectively. Single hand swing, clean, and half snatch. Putting in the reps combined with a proper amount of patience will yield great skill down the road. Now let's cover doubles. And here I'm gonna show you something that you've probably never seen before. You might have seen the single hand swing, the clean, the snatch, or even the half snatch. But the double bent knee, which is necessary to master a proper double half snatch, is something that many haven't heard of before. The double bent knee is also referred to as pendulum leg action or the Russian pendulum. This is a prerequisite for the double half snatch because if we work with competition kettlebells, we have to make enough space between our legs. Another powerful benefit of this movement pattern is efficiency and the amount of power that you're able to produce. Let's imagine we have both kettlebells in the rack position. I have a little bit wider than shoulder width stance. My feet are slightly pointed outwards. Now, super slow motion. I drop both kettlebells. And as my forearms make contact with my hip, I catch the weight with my knees first. From this position, this is the first bent knee, I bend my hips and extend the knees. From this position, here comes the second bent knee, or the double bent knee now. I bend my knees again, shifting my pelvis forward. The weight comes back up, and as it travels back up, I go back into lockout. Especially in the backswing phase of the lift, with almost fully extended knees, I can profit from the so-called stretch reflex, the springy energy, the elastic energy that is building up right here. And if I release this energy, boom, I can move a lot of weight. Now in this next phase of progression, we have to master the double clean first. Watch. After mastering the double clean, we have to now catapult both bells from this position on top overhead. And this is where I have to use a lot of acceleration power, a lot of pulling power from my back. Observe. Now this clanging and banging in the backswing is part of the process, but you don't want to exaggerate it. You want to avoid it as much as possible by keeping your hands loose in the backswing. And as the bell travels up, you start tensing your arms to use your back muscles to bring the bells overhead. Power tip at the end. What do I have to do when both kettlebells land in the rack position, either from the double clean or from the top fixation down into the rack? I have to decide which bell comes first. In my case, the left side comes first and the right side follows. That's why you always hear this clanking of the handles. Watch and listen. Double clean. As you can see, left side was first. Right side is interlacing. And as a final power tip, from the top fixation, when you want to bring your bells down, consider them like water. Don't interfere. Let gravity do its thing. So what I don't do is rack, rest, and then drop. But I immediately try to go boom, boom, up. Again, drop, letting gravity do its thing. If you want to incorporate a double half snatch into your workout regimen, make it the exercise that either comes first or the exercise that has the lowest amount of reps, because it is pretty taxing. Now here's the next thing that you have to do. You have to like the video, consider subscribing, share it with a friend who's also passionate about kettlebells, and then check out our courses right here. A video is great, but learning from a coach with a dedicated course is next level. So click the card right here, check it out, and enjoy.